beautiful pictures, in-depth information, kind of background story on anything that you're choosing to do. And of course, you are bringing us a fantastic book. It's Elizabeth Taylor, My Love Affair with Jewelry book. If there was ever a perfect name for a book, that might be it.
Well, this is known to be one of the most important and beautiful jewelry books because Elizabeth, nobody, first of all, nobody had the stories, maybe, but Elizabeth did this book, and she told her stories. And there's not another book where somebody tells the stories of their jewelry. So this was a totally unique book, and it's really largely the reason we were able to bring this collection to all of you.
That's fantastic. It's available today, clearance price $44.76. You're getting 240 pages. 240 pages with color photos throughout. We all have seen, or many of us, I don't want to speak for everyone, I know I have over the years, the photos of Miss Taylor with the various loves of her life, with her jewelry, with these stunning pieces, you know, with the lore. But now you're getting to bring home the book, you know, kind of as told from her eyes and her perception and what happened with each of her
Exactly.
piece.
No, this is her book. She wrote it. I mean, I'm going to say that I did offer the idea that she do a jewelry book. I thought it was important, and she very generously gave me credit for the concept, but
Well,
it
was
just
lovely.
well, it was, and it just seemed obvious, you know. I mean, it seemed obvious that Elizabeth would do a book on her jewelry, and we knew that one day her jewelry would be sold at Christie's or Sotheby's, but it was sold at Christie's, and that there would be a gorgeous catalog that went with it. But that's just a catalog, and Elizabeth needed to, I felt, to have the opportunity to tell her story, and she never wanted to do an autobiography.
No?
No, she didn't, because well, she did do a book in 1964, but she didn't want to do like this was my life, because she felt like there were so many secrets and so many things that happened. To be able to do it authentically, she would have to tell other people's secrets as well. And she was also just too busy living her life than to look back on her life.
I have to respect that. I think you really have to respect that. Do you have, you know, within all of these pages, I'm just going to kind of flip as we talk, do you have a favorite, perhaps, story in the book? Do you have a favorite photo? Was there a favorite of hers that she liked to tell that's included? I mean,
the Mike Todd rubies is a great story. The emeralds have a great story. The Peregrina, I would say the Peregrina is the best, yeah.
Okay.
But we're going to have to save that till we have the Peregrina on the show.
Yes, I think that's coming up later. I believe you'll be back later this afternoon with Mary Beth Rowe, and I believe that is... Oh, this is a picture of the ring that's coming up later in our show.
No, actually, that's not the ring.
Oh, that's not it? Oh, I was told this was the...
That is not the... That is a ring from Mike Todd. And so Mike Todd gave her like I think like a 27-carat diamond ring that's an emerald shape. But our ring is from Richard Burton.
Yes.
And it's the Elizabeth Taylor diamond, and it's coming up, and it's 33
okay.
carats. So,
I was misinformed. But, you know, it says something about one's jewelry collection. When pieces get confused, one large ring to the next.
Well, it is confusing. Because they're similar. But I don't know why she sold that. She sold that Mike Todd diamond. Maybe it was too difficult.
I believe this is...
That is the Elizabeth Taylor diamond. It was the Krupp diamond when she had it, but once she passed away and it went into the Christie sale, it just seemed so important that this be the Elizabeth Taylor diamond, because this is a diamond that she wore every day, and so we called it the Elizabeth Taylor diamond. And I think rightly so.
This is stunning, and we do have a presentation coming up on the ring itself a little bit later in the show. Yes, that says 33 carats. You're not groggy, you're not tired. It's 33 carats. You actually, Tim, had access to where she stored her jewelry. You got to go in and see it every day. What can you tell us about being in the room with that jewelry?
Well, it was, I mean, you know, when I started working for her, I think I was 24 years old, so I didn't have a great appreciation for it. But as time went on, and Elizabeth talked about the jewelry and and who had given it to her, and and she was also so generous with giving jewelry, I began to understand the true meaning of what it was, that it wasn't just a material object, that it actually was a connection. And, you know, a connection to a spirit, like in this case, a connection to Elizabeth, her strength, her beauty, or, you know, a connection to her, you know, who had given it to her, because she had all these boxes. I mean, all the most important pieces were in boxes, and on them were marked, a lot of them were like Mike Todd diamond ear pendants. Or Richard Burton, well, I don't think it said Richard Burton emeralds, but, you know, diamond brooch.
Okay.
So she would name the things after who had given them to her. That was how important they were. And all these boxes were in, you know, were in the safe. And it was all kept in a jewelry closet. And I don't know, it was normal for me. It was only towards the end of her life that I started to realize that these were going to go off into the world, and I wasn't going to be able to just go and look at them or go and get them for her, and you know, but it was my job. So I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but I was working really hard.
I absolutely understand.
And jewelry was a big part of like getting ready and traveling and packing it all up. And there was so much going on all the time that I didn't like sit and just enjoy the jewelry. But truthfully, Elizabeth told me to.
Well, in the name of the book.
She said, go and have fun, pretend like you're me, and put things together that you think I would like.
I love it. The name of the book, of course, is My Love Affair with Jewelry. What was it that Miss Taylor loved so much about jewelry?
I think she loved the symbolism. She loved the beauty. She loved that it came from nature. She loved that it was something that God created in the earth, and that then a craftsman, a jeweler, a designer, an artist would take this and have a vision for it. She truly respected artists. She truly respected God. She was very spiritual in her own. She wasn't religious, but she was very, very spiritual. And she was so much about humanity, and she was so much about, you know, what was right and what was wrong.
Absolutely. And I think that this book, especially at the price of $44.76, whether you or someone you love is a fan of jewelry, has a love of jewelry, is an Elizabeth Taylor fan, or perhaps just loves that old Hollywood glamour, this is an amazing gift to get home and just spend an afternoon looking through the pictures, reading the stories, and just enjoying the exquisite life that was Elizabeth Taylor.
And this is a way, this was sort of like an autobiography where she could just have the cream of her life.
I think that's fantastic.